I am trying to decide if should keep this background or not, because I look blurry in it. Hi everyone, this is Linda G for day 2. I think I'm going to keep it just for a few seconds. The reason I chose this background is because today we're talking about breathing, of course, and I thought it was a nice, serene background that would help us think of breathing. But I think I'll take it off now because it looks a little bit blurry. I look blurry in it. It could be my it could be just my there. I think it could be just my webcam. Sometimes the webcam doesn't work properly. Anyways, how are you doing? How are you doing today? Welcome back. Welcome back. So yesterday we kicked off our self-care journey by focusing on choice, where we talked about how choosing ourselves was the first step towards creating the life that you so desire, right? So if you missed day 1, just go back. It's on my YouTube channel. Just go back and watch it so you could start noticing how just choosing can be extremely transformational. My name is Linda G. Robert. I am your Back in the Groove Again coach. And I'm going to share my screen with you in just 1 second here to show you yesterday's slide. So let me share my screen. I hope you could see that. Right, this is what we saw yesterday. We saw parts of this model yesterday. But today we're diving into the power of breath. So you notice how I'm adding breathing now to the model. And by the end of the week, that model will all be filled out. So today we're diving into the power of breath. And our breath is the most accessible tool, when you think about it, the most accessible tool we have to help us reset, to help us get or feel grounded, to help us connect to the present moment. So if you're feeling stressed out, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling disconnected, breathing, taking a breath can be the reset button that you need to bring you back into balance and to bring you back into feeling that peaceful self of yours. So today's focus is using breath as a tool, like we mentioned. So why do we need to use breath as a tool? Because it's just really easy. It's just really easy to use breath as a tool. It's a way to consciously shift our mental and emotional and physical state. The act of breathing mindfully has the power to calm the nervous system and to help us feel more centered. I'd like you to try it now. Just take a nice deep breath just now. We're going to be doing some breathing exercises in just another few minutes. But I want to talk about the power of breath just for a moment. Did you know that our breath has a direct influence on our nervous system? When we breathe mindfully, we're aware that we're taking our breath. We send signals to our body that everything is fine, everything is okay. And this helps to calm the stress response, and it helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural response, which is the relaxation response. It just activates that parasympathetic nervous system, which is our body's natural relaxation response. When we focus on our breath, we interrupt the cycle of stress and anxiety, and we create space for calmness and for clarity. But here's the beautiful part. Simple shifts in your breath can shift your mind. Just by changing the way you breathe, you can drastically change how you feel and how you show up in the world. I think that's absolutely amazing. The power of our breath, right? Choosing to breathe. So I'm going to mention a couple of breathing techniques that you can use anytime, anywhere to support your self-care and well-being. And we'll try one of them in just a minute. So the first one is box breathing. It could be 4-4-4-4. It could be 6-6-6-6. It could be 7-7-7. So long as the numbers are the same, this is a simple yet powerful technique where you inhale for 6 seconds, for example, or 4 seconds. You hold your breath for 6 seconds or 4, whichever number you choose. You exhale for 6 seconds, and then you hold your breath again for 6 seconds. And you repeat this for a few cycles. You repeat this for a few rounds, and then you notice, how your body begins to just calm down. We're going to talk about calming activities tomorrow. Today we're focusing more on breathing. So the box breathing can help you reset in moments of overwhelm or anxiety. Now, another breathing technique is called the deep diaphragmatic breathing. And this one involves breathing deeply into your belly and expanding the diaphragm. The diaphragm is just below your chest here, and it pushes down. Your lungs are filling with air so much that it pushes down, and it seems that your belly is growing a little bit, is expanding. So you're expanding the diaphragm rather than shallow chest breathing. This is shallow chest breathing. Just from up here, when you're doing the diaphragmatic breathing, it expands your diaphragm. And of course, it seems like you're breathing from the belly, but you're not breathing from the belly at all. Of course, you're still breathing from the lungs. So this type of breathing signals to your body that it's time to relax and release tension. Now, I remember when I was pregnant and getting ready to deliver my babies, this is the type of breathing that they suggested that we do. So as I'm breathing in, my belly seems to be expanding, and it's expanding because my diaphragm is pushing a little lower, pushing on it a little bit. So as you inhale, you feel your belly rise, and as you exhale, you feel your body fall, your belly fall. And this technique is especially effective when you're feeling stressed out and when you just need a moment, just to chill out. So as we talk about breath today, I want to remind you that every conscious breath that you take is a message to your body that you are safe and that you're cared for. Breath is not just a physical act. It's an act, in my opinion, of self-love. And breathing mindfully tells your body, I'm here for you. I am here for you. I am listening to you. I'm giving you the space to relax and to heal. This act of loving yourself through breath is deeply nourishing. So let's take a moment to practice this together. I want you to find a comfortable seat. Make sure you're comfortable in your seat, or if you're able to lie down, that's okay too. You can lie down if you want. And I do invite you to close your eyes as well. And we're just going to start focusing on our breath. Just put your attention on your breath just for a few minutes. And inhale deeply through your nose for 6 seconds. Hold the breath for 6 seconds. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale slowly through your mouth or your nose for 6 seconds. Then you pause for another 6 seconds. And then you start again. So let's try this. Let's try it together. I'll be in silence, but we're going to do it together just for a few rounds. Okay, so let's try it together. And when you're breathing, I'd like you also to try the diaphragmatic breathing as well. So expanding your belly. So let's try that again. Hold. Exhale. Pushing all the air out. And hold it. You'll notice sometimes that your body naturally wants to breathe again, of course. It's natural for our body to breathe. We breathe all the time, right? So when you're practicing this type of breathing technique, you want to try this deep breathing technique just for a few cycles, and then let your breath flow naturally after that. No need to judge it. Just be present with your breath. Just be present with it. And sometimes it's just a couple of minutes, just a minute, just a few seconds. That's all you need. Now, if you're still with your eyes closed, I do invite you to open your eyes again, please. And if you have a journal or a piece of paper and a pen, it's time for some reflection now. So if you don't, go ahead and grab your journal and grab a pen. And I've got a couple of prompts, journal prompts for you again. Now, this is a great way to reflect on your breath. So what I would like you to do, if you're looking at the recording, the replay, do your breathing, then write down how do you feel after just a few minutes of mindful breathing. How do you feel after just a few mindful breaths? I always feel calmer after I've done that. So notice too any shifts in your body or any shifts in your mind. Maybe you do feel calmer. Maybe you feel more grounded. Maybe you feel more connected to the present moment. This is the power of your breath working on your behalf. And of course, the more you practice this, the more you'll begin to notice these shifts in your everyday life. So that's the first question. And the first question would follow after you have done some mindful breathing. How do you feel after just a few mindful breaths? All right. And here's question number 2. When can you consciously choose to take a breath? When can you choose and be aware that you're choosing to take a breath? So I'd like you to write that down as well. For example, I always take a deep breath before a challenging conversation, before a presentation, or any situation where I feel overwhelming. It helps me really to reset and to regain focus. It's also helpful during interviews while you're waiting to be called in to the interview. Very, very helpful. But it's not just big moments, right? Breathing can help with everyday situations too. You might, for example, take a breath before you get out of bed in the morning to set the tone for your day. Or maybe when you're feeling frustrated while driving. That can happen. Or maybe when you're waiting in a long lineup. Maybe before answering the phone or starting a task that feels stressful for you. So breathing helps to bring you back to the present moment. When we consciously choose our breath, it brings us right back to the present moment. Because our body will breathe itself, right? We naturally breathe. But when you consciously choose to breathe, it'll bring you right back to the here and now, allowing you, of course, to approach each situation with a calm mind and grounded energy. So here's a question for you. Can you think of a moment today where you can take a conscious breath? Maybe you've got something going on later today. Maybe you have a really busy day, or you have a meeting that could be a little bit stressful, for example. Or maybe it's when the kids are being so loud. If you're a mom, stay-at-home mom, or you're coming back from work and the kids are getting back from school and it's like, I just need to take a breath. Right? That's self-care, that's self-love. Or maybe it's when you're about to respond to something that makes you feel tense. So, for example, if you receive an email and it's bad news on the email, before you actually respond, because notice if you're just reading the email, you might not be breathing deeply. You might just be doing some shallow breathing. But if while you're reading it, you're going, oh, I think I better slow down here and do some nice deep breath. Then you're going to take this message from a completely different mindset. Right? So maybe it's also when you're waiting in line at the Tim Hortons donuts. Tim Hortons. You're waiting, you want your coffee, but you know it's going to take a while. So you might as well take a breath. Right? Your breath is your anchor. So when we do meditation, we often talk about anchors, and sometimes a mantra can be an anchor. Here I'm mentioning that your breath can be an anchor. So an anchor is available. It's available at any time. Thank you again for being here today, for joining me today. And of course, I hope that you feel a lot more grounded and a lot more calm after our breathing exercise. Remember, the breath is always there for you. You can use it whenever you need to reset, or whenever you need to find peace. Tomorrow, we're diving into day 3 of the self-care journey. We're going to be focusing on creating calm amidst chaos. We're going to talk more about how to bring calmness into your life, even in stressful moments. I can't wait to see you there. And of course, remember to practice your breathing and to notice over time how you want to do it naturally. You want to consciously choose your breath. You want to consciously choose to breathe deeply. The more you do it, the more you go, I need to take a breath here. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about calming activities. Bye now.